As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized CIMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a CIMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the CIMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study exam. Start studying the CIMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
Good evening, professional colleagues, students, friends of chartered accountants, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to another edition of ICAN on Air, powered by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, a noble institute, noble profession, guided with integrity and accuracy. And I'm welcoming you to the Tuesday edition. This day, the 19th day of the month of July 2022. We want to appreciate you for always hooking up to us. And we promise that all the time, we will always give you that educative topic, that insightful topic that will guide us, that which we know for our great Institute. Today, I brought another topic for you, which is very contemporary, something that you and I need to have deeper understanding of, and that is data analytics. Today's business game changer. You and I know that the COVID-19 has brought a different dimension to the way things are being done, and we've been told that it is the era of information technology, and accounting profession needs to understand what data is all about. And today, I will be guesting no other person than a member of our great institute, a seasoned professional who has his wealth of experience, Mrs. Josephine Ike Ogugo, ACA. And she will be talking to us on data analytics, today's game changer. She is an MBA holder, SCA holder, SCA HND, IFRS, a member of our great institute, who is a quality control partner of Ugochukwu Nwankwo and Co., a firm of chartered accountant here in Lagos. She qualified as a member of our great institute in 2001 and had a HND from the Yaba College of Yaba College of Technology, also a certification in IFRS. She has had her experience in the banking sector and also she worked in the internal audit and control of arts at Norway as a green consulting, an IT consulting firm. Mrs. Jocelyn will be doing justice to the topic of today, which is data analytics, today's game changer. I know you've got your pen and and paper together to have another insightful, knowledge to build to the knowledge ground. But let me quickly go on a very short break, and when I will be coming back, I will be coming in with our guest for today. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And like I promised, that when I'll be coming in with our guest. And I want to welcome our guest for today on ICAN on Air, in person of Mrs. Josephine Ike Ogufo, ACA. Madam, good evening. You're welcome to ICAN on Air.
Good evening, and thank you so much for having me on the show. I thank God for making this possible.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. Without wasting our time, let me hit the ground running for our presentation, our topic for today. And we keep hearing data is the new oil, data is the new thing that we need to do. Please, can you educate our viewers what is data analysis? Madam, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Am I being heard, madam?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Thank you very much
please
for.
do justice to my question.
Thank you
Okay.
very much for that question. A few years ago, I attended a conference tagged Inspiration Conference. This conference was organized by RCCG, Lagos Region 1 Men Fellowship. I said to myself, let me go and hear the big boys out. Let me get to know what is trending. And I got to the conference. There were different groups there, the agriculture group, entrepreneurship, technology. I decided to join the technology group, probably because I was with an IT firm then. I wanted to hear them out. And then the topic for discussion for that day was centered on the power of data. There's this young, energetic man that took us that day. That day, for the first time, I heard the phrase, data is the new oil. As he was taking us through the session, I struggled within myself to understand what he meant by data is the new oil. As he continued to explain how much they've been able to do with data in their organization, I became interested. And later on, I decided to check what the phrase data is the new oil, what it means. And going by my research, Clive Humby in 2006 was the person credited with that statement, data is the new oil. Michael Portal went ahead to also explain further what Clive Humby, what he meant by that statement. And he said, data is like oil and needs to be processed so that products such as rubber, plastics, and different products can be got from it. That data in itself has no meaning. That is what he's trying to imply. But by the time it is refined, then you have resources that can be used. And then I got to understand what he was trying to say, that data as it is, as a raw material, does not mean anything. You can have loads of data, but not until this data is cleansed, transformed, and analyzed so that insights, gainful insights, can be got from this data for effective decision making. It was then I understood what that phrase meant. Data is the new oil.
Great, great, great. The exposition of having to have a visit for a conference, and you decided to just pick that interest, and with that little education on data analytics, of not just having the raw data but processing it so that it can become something that will transform to a bigger thing, gives a good explanation of what data analytics is all about. But let me take you on this. Data analytics is a game changer for today's business. Can you give our viewers some insight into this assertion?
Data is truly the game changer for today's business. In some client, it's no longer a necessity. I mean, it's no longer what people can. I mean, it's now the norm. It is what is expected of every company to use data to their advantage. So today's business is no longer what it used to be in the past. The digital revolution has transformed what business is like. There was a day I was somewhere with one of my colleagues, and she was trying to talk to a woman on uh, trying to automate her processes. And then, to my surprise, when we asked, what is your inventory level? She said she does not know. I was like, wow. If this woman does not have information, if she does not have records as to what her inventory level is, how does she want to move this business forward? How does she want to excel? How does she want to gain competitive advantage? How does she want to ensure that the business processes, there is no disruption? Time has changed. COVID-19 has revealed to us that physical stores are no longer a necessity for business to be done today. Businesses have moved their stores from the streets to the internet. And a lot of amazing things are being done on the internet.
Hmm. Hmm. That is very, very, very key. The businesses are no longer on the street, but now it's being on the internet. And if you are not compliant, you may be having yourself behind the scene. Then can we safely say that without requisite skills in data analytics, it is difficult for someone to run a business successfully? Is that an assertion?
I will go with you that it can be difficult depending on what you expect in business. If you want to be among the industry leaders, then I will say data analytics is a necessity. New Vantage Partners, a consultancy firm in America, recorded that as at last year, 2021, 99% of American businesses are all running with data analytics. I'm sure before the end of this year, that record will move to 100%. They have seen that data analytics is a necessity. Data analytics is very, very important. Amazon, one of the industry leaders, was able to leverage on data analytics. During COVID-19, while businesses were shutting down, Amazon was busy making tons and tons of wealth, improving their businesses with data analytic tools. In fact, they recorded over 220% in their profit last year because they leverage on data analytic tools. So, if a business must thrive, going by the competition out there now, the business must employ data analytic tools.
Awesome, awesome. This is a very, subtle way to pass the message to our people that it's no longer business as usual. You've made mention of big organization that were nobody before now, playing in the bigger league of getting so much, going to the extent of having their profit raised as much as 220%. That is huge, huge. Let me ask this question, Madam Josephine. What is so different in this data analytics that makes an average chartered accountant who are very skilled in data analysis using some tools like financial ratio analysis, adopted in the analysis of business performance, not being able to key in into this data analytics that we are talking about, or even as a data engineer?
Thank you very much for that question. Accountants actually are involved in analytics. Like you said, financial ratios are calculated and all that. But the truth is, accountants use historical data, past data, and this is just a segment of data analytics. This is what is termed descriptive analytics under data analytics. There are actually four types. Descriptive analytics has to do with using historical data, past records, to gain insights which can then be used for decision making.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's have the remaining three. You just gave me one out of the four, so that at least our viewers can enjoy the benefit of knowing. You've given one which is descriptive. Let's have a feel of the remaining three, man.
Thank you. Aside from descriptive analytics, we also have diagnostic analytics, prescriptive analytics, and predictive analytics. Descriptive analytics has to do with what happened. In that case, we are looking at the past, what had happened in the past. Diagnostic analytics deals with what what was responsible for what happened. You are looking at your results and then you're trying to find out what is responsible, what did we not get right. That is diagnostic analytics. And then predictive analytics has to do with what can be done. What do we do? It has to do with the future. For instance, if I'm looking at attaining a target of 50% in profit, I can now begin to predict. I can now use data analytic tools to look at how I can achieve this. Then prescriptive analytics looks at also the future. And if you look at the different types of analytics that I just mentioned now, from descriptive to diagnostic to predictive and then to prescriptive, as you move up that ladder, the difficulty is increasing, so to say. Descriptive has to do with the past, which is quite easier. Then we look at the diagnostic, the predictive, and then prescriptive, which deals with what should we do in order to have our business running the way we want it to run.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. You've just given us the four arms. If I want to use the human part, I'll say you've given us the two hands and the two legs, talking about the descriptive analytics, the diagnostic analytics, the predictive analytics, and the prescriptive analysis. That's a very insightful one that our members just need to take so that we can start studying this one after the other. Madam, let me go again by asking what body of knowledge is required? Because I feel this is germane. We've been talking to some people. It seems as if we are talking in the Latin in another word. I just want you to show us what body of language is required for someone who is desirous in specializing in data analytics that is required, for the person to be a sound data analyst.
Well, for one to be a sound data analyst, it's in different levels. For accountants, you can actually start at a lower level. Power BI, for instance, is a tool that you can use for business intelligence to be able to gain insight, valuable insights from data. It does not really, for a layman or a beginner, you can actually start with Power BI or even Excel, which does not really require programming languages. With that, you move higher to learning some programming languages which can enable you to be able to understand data analytics better.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Like I mentioned, our members are always given the opportunity to ask questions, even from us. And Samuel is asking that, can you provide more details on some of the tools required for data analyst, pardon.
There are actually so many tools that are available, but what suits it's not a what suits company A may not suit company B. It depends on your data requirements. Microsoft Excel, for instance, can be used. It's one of the tools. Then you have Power BI, which I mentioned earlier. You have Tableau, and so many of them like that can be used for data analysis.
Okay, so we have several tools. Talking of even a normal Excel that you and I are very familiar with. They're going to the advanced Excel, exploring ourselves. Of which we've had several people come on here to tell us that we can even do some of this trading on our own by going to Google and YouTube to study that Power BI, the Tableau, and the like. So, madam, let me ask you this. Uh, why do you think people are shying away from data analytics?
Can you please repeat that question? I couldn't get you very well.
Okay. I said, why do you think that people are shying away from data analytics?
Well, I believe people that are shying away from data analytics don't have maybe adequate knowledge, or they are totally ignorant of what data analytics can do. Data is power. With data, you are able to achieve so much, so much. So, for anybody that is not even aware of what can be achieved using data analytic tools, then you discover that such a person uh, may not go for it.
Oh, so ignorance is just what is making the person to shy away. Because if you don't get involved now, then definitely later it will catch up on you, and you see yourself out of it. Let me quickly ask this question, madam. In relation to data analytics, can you please educate us? What is big data, and how does it influences businesses?
Big data refers to large data that is not in any structure per se. And big data is very, very useful when it comes to data analytics. A lot of businesses, I mentioned Amazon earlier, Google, so many companies are using big data to be able to transform their business.
Very brilliant, and just short and straight to it. I want to encourage our listeners, our viewers, to please throw in your questions, and you and I understand that we are talking on a contemporary topic that we all need, and you have been hearing from Madam Josephine Ike Ogugo, a member of the Institute, talking to us about data analytics. She has given us what the definition is all about, talking to us about how several organizations has been able to move from nothing to something, increasing their performance in the area of profit sharing. Shared with us some of the types of data analytics, talking about the descriptive, the diagnostic, the predictive, and the prescriptive. And she has given us some tools, talking about the small Excel. You and I, we always run away from the advanced Excel itself, the Power BI, the Tableau. And from the last statement, she said, people shying away from data analytics are people who are full of ignorance. And if that is continued, that means in no distance time, they will be seeing themselves out of the old show. Before I continue, madam, while I allow our members to prepare some of their questions, I'll quickly go on a very, very short break. And when I come back, I will be taking some of the questions of our audience and continue from my side here. So, to our viewers, please stay tuned. We are coming back to continue with the program. Oh, I think there seems to be a slight disconnection from the back end. And, madam, let's still continue. While in no distance time, I will come back for the break. We've just spoken about the issue of big data and how it influences businesses. I keep hearing the word data mining, data mining. Remind me those days where we were struggling in secondary school, and some people will say they are going for for mining, in the on the field, those that are very close to geophysics. But now we are hearing it in line with data mining, data mining. Can you please put us through this concept, and if possible, relate it to data analytics?
Data mining has to do with extraction of data using tools, technology tools. And this data, after it's been extracted, has to be processed. You pass it through the process of cleaning, transforming, analyzing, so that you can gain useful insights for better decisions, for more accurate decisions than you will have ordinarily made without using these tools.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's data mining. How do we relate it to data analytics?
Data mining also is just like data analytics. They work, they are very, very similar. Data analytics has to do with what? Examination of data. Data analytics is the science of data. What do I mean by the science of data? There are two key words in science, which is experiment and observation. What are we, what do I mean by this? The data that we need is examined. After examining this data, we need to process it to ensure that it's of quality. By processing it, I mean the cleansing to ensure that there are no duplicates, there are no errors, to ensure that it fits the purpose for which you want to use it for. So that when you are now taking your decision based on the insights you're going to gain from the data you have analyzed, you can be sure that it's going to give you the results that you want.
That's good. Sincerely speaking, data it's power. And you said at the beginning it's even the oil. So you must definitely go through the refining process, cleaning it, transforming it. You came from that perspective again. Remind me of my secondary school days, talking about the science aspect, experimenting and observing. Sincerely speaking, it's been a good time exposing us and enlightening us on what data analytics is all about. Let me state that we welcome questions and answer from our audience, and I can assure you that our guest is prepared even to dish it out and give explanation, give clarity to it. I've once told you that ICAN on air is always out to educate us, enrich our knowledge base all the time. And like I said the other time, permit me, I'll be going on a very short break. And when I come back, I will be given more questions to our guest for today, doing justice to the topic data analytics, today's business game changer. Stay tuned. I will be right back.
As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized CIMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a CIMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the CIMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study exam. Start studying the CIMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
Welcome back, and you're welcome to ICAN on Air. Today, Tuesday, the 19th day of the month of July, and we've been discussing on data analytics, today's business game changer. And I've been guesting Mrs. Josephine Ike Ogugugfo, ACA, who have been giving explanation, giving an insight into what data analytics. Madam, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we while we continue, let me quickly take this question from Saeed Olaide Afolabi, who is saying, "What is the significance of data mining in predictive analytics, especially for financial modeling?"
Thank you for that question, Sahid. When it comes to data mining, in order for you to predict, you must have records, you must have past records which you want to analyze, which you want to break down. You need to form models, and then you need to look at the relationships. Without this data that we are talking about, you having data, you need to get the data that you need. So without you mining, without you sourcing for the data, then you can't be talking about forecasting. So data mining is very, very key for you to be able to build models. And then from the models, you are seeing the relationships between the different data, the interactions between the variables. And then from there, you can now see the patterns, the trends, and then from there, you can now make your deductions to be able to eventually make uh, good decisions.
Yeah, to make good decisions, so you need the data mining. At least have some facts, to predict certain things. Then have some modeling put together, even for us to actually do this. Thank you very much, Saeed, for that question. I have Isaiah also making this question. What are the career prospects in data analytics and the requirement for someone who wishes to make a career in data analytics?
The prospect for data analytics is huge. In fact, if you are able to go into data analytics, learn it very well, then you are hot cake. I tell you, especially in Europe and other parts of the world, data analysts are in short supply. The demand for data analytics far outweighs the number of people that are into this. And every business, because data is everywhere, people need to experiment with data in order to have their businesses move forward. You talk about healthcare, where you can even launch new products. You talk about agriculture. You talk about the insurance sector, the financial services, anywhere, any sector that you're talking about, data analytics is involved now. In fact, it is a necessity. If you are
Hmm.
able to, then you are good to go. You will not
Brilliant.
regret it. You will not if you decide to go into data analytics.
Brilliant, brilliant. Data is everywhere, and like you said, it's the oil that all of us, the whichever version of the oil you want to put it, everyone knows that oil is very key. Whether it's the crude oil or the one you use domestically, oil is oil, and if data is oil, that means it's something that it cut across everyone. And I just said it. Short number of people are venturing into this. And that's why the Institute have put this together to broaden the knowledge of our members and make sure that there is something somewhere for them to tap into. So, Madam Josephine, okay, I can see Desmond coming with another question saying, is data analytics the same as financial analysis?
Financial analysis is a segment of data analytics somehow, because with financial analysis, you are dealing with your financials. But with data analytics, it is all encompassing. It is deeper than financial analysis. Financial analysis is a part of data analysis.
Financial analysis is just a subset of it. That's what Madam Josephine has just enlightened us. And that's why we are of the opinion that we need to get more involved in some of the things that are there, broaden our knowledge, because data is the intake thing. Madam Josephine, let me ask you this question. What are the challenges people are facing incorporating data analytics into today's business? What are the challenges?
Like I mentioned earlier, um, there is a short supply of those that technically in this client, anyway, even abroad, there is short supply of data analysts, people that are knowledgeable in this. So when you don't have adequate number of people with the technical know-how, that is a point. And then when even the business owners are not even aware of what data analytics can do for them, then it is also contributory.
Well, so the business owner needs to have a buy-in into data analytics, understanding the in-depth of what is going to give them as a business owner. Let me ask, are there levels or stages in data analytics?
Yes, like I mentioned earlier, when you talk about data analytics, there are different levels. At the lowest level is the descriptive, which we mentioned earlier, using past records, historical data, what has happened in the past. But after this, we have the diagnostic, and then the predictive, and then prescriptive, which deals with what should be done. Those are the
Okay.
different levels.
Okay, that's brilliant. I can see Karim coming with this question again. And like I keep saying, the essence of why we're here is to equip our members, equip our listeners, our viewers on some of the things. And Ahmed is asking that are there tools that someone can learn to be able to become a data analyst? And what are the tools? I'm sure you explained that before, but you can re-echo it because I think it's germane for them to have understanding of some of the tools. So, madam, you have the floor on some of the tools.
Thank you very much for that question. Like I mentioned earlier, there are so many tools that are available for data analysis. You have even the common Excel, though Excel has a limitation as to the number of data it can accommodate. Then you have the Power BI, the Tableau, you have Hadoop, and so many of them like that, that one can, work with.
Okay. But if somebody needs to have a deeper knowledge of this, what can be your advice? What would be your advice to such person, able to study some of these tools on this program?
Programming language is very key, because if you're talking about mining very big data, very large amount of data, then you will need to understand the programming languages. You have the R, you have, you know, you need to SQL and all that to be able to move higher, to get deeper.
Okay, so one just need to have understanding of SQL, all this role and all those stuff. So I've actually been guesting Madam Josephine Ike Ogugu for ACA, talking to us on data analytics, the game changer. And let me just state here that our viewers have been bringing in question, and she's been doing justice of some of the things that we need to have understanding of. A complete shift of the traditional ways of doing things, bringing to bear the contemporary one, that we must be acquainted with data. And Olukayode Ojo is saying, how relevant is data analytics to legal practice business?
Data analytics is relevant to every sector, whatever you can think of. When you talk about the legal business, your records, sometimes you need some information for your practice, and then you need to mine those data. And then that is when the data analytic tools comes in.
Okay. That's brilliant. As we are coasting home with our guest for today, before you give your parting shot, I want a situation where you just give us in depth of how we can start from zero to one of the big stuff in terms of data analytic knowledge acquisition and the application in today's business.
Or like I mentioned earlier, you can start from as low as Excel, which is a common tool, and then gradually you upskill. And when you talk about how this can be applied in today's business, the benefits, it's very, very huge. When you talk about customer acquisition as well as retention, data analytic tools are very, very useful. They are very, very handy, because with data analytic tools, you are able to get information. Say, for instance, if each time you visit a website, your data is being collected and this data is being stored. At the end of the day, all these data that are being stored are used in order to better uh, enhance businesses. When you talk about customer acquisition, you are able to know the trends of customers. With data analytic tools, you are able to make observation of customers' purchasing patterns, their needs, the things that they like. And with that, you can now come up with your products and services that can satisfy the customer needs. And when a customer is satisfied, you discover that they'll remain loyal to you because you are giving them what they want. And even with data analytics, you are able to invent, you are able to uh, repackage your existing products. You are able to redesign them to suit your customers' taste. When you talk about suppliers, they also use data analytic tools to ensure that the materials that are needed consistently flow. Sometimes there are some companies that sometimes say they are out of inventory, of stock, and I keep wondering, is it that they are not aware of the trends, of the patterns of their customers over the years? How come they are having shortages in the goods that are being produced? But with data analytics, you are able to overcome all this.
Sincerely speaking, when you have an in-depth of this data analytics, it gives you that leverage to even expand your business the more. I can
Sure.
have Mr. Sheon Oderide asking you that what are the prerequisite skills required for professionals intending to venture into data sciences?
Well, when you talk about the professional skills that are required, You must be good in mathematics. You must be good with statistics, the numbers. If you are not somebody that likes figures, you may not flow very well with it. But even for accountants with our level, because we speak the language of figures, and accountants can easily flow. I will tell you it's not that easy, but with consistency, once you make up your mind and then you work hard towards it, once there is a will, there will always be a way.
Hmm, hmm. Once there is a will, there will definitely be a way. And you are even giving us a safe landing just from what my last speaker was saying, that people tends to move towards statistics rather than programming when it comes to this. While we are rounding up, madam, let me ask, are there limitations to these data analytics?
There can be limitations to what you're able to achieve with data analytics. Like I mentioned earlier, a data analysis is a process. You need to get your data, both internal and external data, which you need to clean. For you to have the desired result, your data must be of good quality. So if the data is not of good quality, then you will be limited as to how far you can go with your decisions. You can be very sure that the decisions you'll be getting will not be accurate because the data which you use in the first place is not of good quality. So that, in a sense, can limit what data analytics is able to do for you.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And I'm sure our viewers today, from the accolades I'm getting behind the scene, have actually enriched their knowledge on this topic of today, talking about data analytics, the game changer, even in the business this day. Madam, can you give us your parting shot as we gradually round up this particular topic for today?
What I will say is that we must all look at, as accountants, business owners, we should not shy away from this data analytics knowledge. If we want to succeed, opportunity, there is a formula which says opportunity plus preparedness equal success. If we want to succeed, just like Amazon did, while large businesses were shutting down, they were busy raking in lots of money because they had prepared themselves. We should not shy away from data analytics. Data analytics has come to stay, and we must all embrace it. Whether we are business owners or we are professional accountants, we must embrace it. I also, at this point, want to thank the president of ICAN, Malam Issa. I want to thank all the executives. I want to thank all my listeners for listening and giving me time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Josephine Ike Ogugo, for a member of our great institute who have been doing justice to data analytics, today's business game changer. And to all our viewers, I sincerely want to appreciate you. But before I finally wind up, let me quickly go on a very short break. And when I come back, I will come to round off the program for today. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized CIMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a CIMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the CIMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study exam. Start studying the CIMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
I sincerely want to appreciate all our listeners, all our viewers for being part of this Tuesday edition of the ICAN on Air. Like I keep telling you, this is where to be every Tuesday and Thursday to improve your knowledge base. This is put together by our institute to increase our knowledge base, to remain relevant with the contemporary things. And I want to quickly give you few announcements to let you know that the 52nd annual accountant conference of our great institute will be holding in October 10 to 14 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. And the 58th ICAN president is awaiting all of you to welcome you for the annual accountant conference. And like I mentioned again, this is a platform for you to exhibit your product. What exactly goods are you promoting? What services are you offering? ICAN on Air is the platform to exhibit your product and services, because this program is not just only for us locally here. We have our viewers cut across the globe watching ICAN on Air. And let me round up by telling you that try as much as possible to stay safe as I hook up with you again on Thursday on another edition of ICAN on Air. I remain your host, Olusesan Okunade, FCA. Bye for now.